Over 50 years have passed since Neil Armstrong and his roommates set foot on the moon, marking an important milestone in human history. That was the day when the space race between the Soviet Union and US came to an end. It was the day when human technology and science entered a new era, continuing the success of Apollo 11. The US government sent 6 more spacecraft over a short period of time, with 12 American astronauts setting foot on the moon. However, something strange happened after the final Apollo 17 mission in 1972. US canceled the entire Apollo project. Why did that happen? Was there something preventing them from returning to the moon? Or was the US government hiding something in order to achieve President Kennedy's goal? After all, the government had invested an enormous sum at the time, over $20 billion, into the projects. However, which stopped humans from returning there was never the same. During the moon's development, it was continuously bombarded by asteroids, grinding its rocks into dust. In addition, its surface suffers constant weathering by solar winds, making the dust even finer over time. Moreover, the moon lacks an atmosphere, and therefore lacks an ecosystem to clean its surface. For this reason, after billions of years, this celestial body has become an extremely dirty and dusty place. Basically, the moon is a ball of soil without an atmosphere, so its surface is constantly exposed to solar radiation. As a result, the moon's dust has strong magnetism. The magnetic field in lunar dust is so strong that the dust can float up and fall back down in what is called the moon photon. It has this name because when the dust is exposed to the moon's ultraviolet radiation, it gets magnetically ejected upward before falling back down like a fountain. Additionally, lunar dust adheres very easily to spacesuits and the bodies of astronauts because of its strong magnetism. Therefore, not only is lunar dust highly adhesive, it also easily damages electronic parts of spacecraft. Similarly, lunar dust has an extremely high abrasiveness, so spacesuits tend to develop punctures in many places after some amount of use. When these damaged suits are exposed to sunlight, they absorb heat faster than normal, making moon exploration increasingly difficult for astronauts over time. With dust being so hazardous, what happens when it enters the human body? During the first human visits to the moon, we did not anticipate the destructive force of the environment there. After just 2 hours on the moon, the Apollo 11 crew spacesuits were completely unusable. Later, when scientists researched the dust, they were very surprised by what they discovered. Lunar dust consists of alloys and glass, formed from solid substances, but lunar particles are so fine they look like powder. To examine the components present in the dust, scientists had to use microscopes to study the tiniest particles. Worse still, the particles have very strong magnetism, so they cling to gear very easily. As a result, when astronauts returned to their spacecraft, they would bring large amounts of external dust inside with them. From there, the dust would cling to air ducts within the spacecraft, causing the astronauts to inhale it. This is when true horror began. To find out what happens when you inhale this material, a group of Stony Brook students conducted an experiment by adding lunar dust to artificial lung fluid. After about 15 minutes, the students observed that some hydrogen had escaped from the solution. Additionally, the reaction produced compounds that weakened bodily health over time. When we enter dusty areas, our body reacts by sneezing to prevent particles from entering inside. However, lunar dust is another story altogether. While the body's reaction is still to sneeze, lunar dust particles cling to the bronchial tubes and brain. Therefore, the effects of this dust cause more than just lung damage. They shred cells throughout the lungs and human brain. Afterwards, a chain reaction of bodily processes is triggered, gradually forming cancer level and rheumatic illnesses. Additionally, when lunar dust makes contact with human skin, it causes magmas and itchiness. Initially, the astronauts did not know the dust was made of glass. As a result, and naturally, once the lunar dust contacted skin, it was only a matter of time before ocular damage occurred as well. Lunar particles entering the eyes would scratch the cornea, eventually leading to blindness. After the Apollo missions, American scientists improved spacesuit durability from 2 hours to about 20 hours. However, that was still not enough under the effects of lunar dust. Support equipment remained an unsolvable puzzle. Additionally, scientists still did not have solutions for cleaning suits to prevent dust adherence and entry into joints and moving parts, where it would destroy all machinery and disable functionality, especially posing for all astronauts' health. Therefore, after considering all these problems following the final Apollo mission, the U.S. government halted the project until methods were developed to handle the dust. From 1968 to 1972, the U.S. government successfully launched 6 out of 9 Apollo projects to send humans to the moon. However, due to technological limitations at the time, we were unable to solve the aforementioned difficult problems with lunar dust. As a result, scientists worldwide collaborated once more to attempt bringing humans back to Earth's satellite. A project called ARTEMIS embodies the worldwide effort to over 5 decades. Therefore, this is an enormously important mission. The ARTEMIS project aims not just to land on the lunar surface again, but also to collect data to aid future human missions to Mars. So how will NASA conduct this next lunar visit? The ARTEMIS spacecraft focuses entirely on protecting the astronauts, beginning with the most vital component, the Orion crew module. This module will house the 4 astronauts, serving as their home and work spots throughout the journey. The module utilizes technologies simulating an Earth environment. Additionally, Orion has its own engines and technologies allowing crews to easily return to Earth themselves. The Orion module is encapsulated by a heat shield that can jettison by itself to ensure crew safety in case of launch complications. The launch system is arranged as a train consisting of a cargo compartment, the main launch abort system, and 2 solid rocket boosters for the ascent into orbit. The main launch abort system incorporates 4 S-25 engines capable of generating up to 2,000 tons of thrust. NASA has also ordered the mass distribution of each module to improve launch efficiency. Additionally, the Space Launch System, solid black column fuel is being adjusted, significantly enhancing its thrust capabilities. Thanks to these tremendous improvements, the Soyuz Block Connet officially becomes the most powerful spacecraft today during that departure. Upon approaching Earth orbit, all spacecraft propulsion sections are jettisoned for easier maneuverability in space. Afterwards, auxiliary thrusters activate, taking the crew to the moon. And of course, after 50 years, the landing method has all seen innovations, namely powered precise landing. With the help of countries across the globe, the ARTEMIS project will also construct a moon landing station called the Lunar Gateway to support expanded lunar exploration in the future. Besides assisting with moon landings, the Lunar Gateway must connect and transmit data back to Earth. With such a vital task, the lunar station is specially designed for easy connections with other modules. Thanks to this design, the moon station can expand into a future where humanity can send far more people to the moon. The Gateway Station can also control its own orbit to successfully touch down on the lunar surface, something Apollo could not achieve. Owing to this capability, the landing station's orbit is a very distinct elliptical shape. When Orion approaches the moon, the crew will dock with the Gateway Station by entering the elliptical orbit. After successfully connecting, team members will transfer to another ship to land on the moon. First, the station will detach the vessel to depart the elliptical orbit. From there, the ship will enter a low lunar orbit and gradually descend to the surface. With the goal of protecting crew members, their suits also require upgrades to withstand the harsh environment. Therefore, scientists have designed thicker suits utilizing electromagnetism to negate lunar dust adherence. When the lunar exploration and research mission concludes, astronauts will return to the landing system in order to launch back into the elliptical orbit and reconnect with the Gateway Station. The crew members will then return to the Orion spacecraft, detach from the station, and head back to Earth. As Orion approaches Earth's orbit, the capsule containing the 4 crew members will separate from the propulsion systems. Next, Orion will rotate its heat shield to face forward and enter the re-entry phase. At this time, the entire astronaut crew will begin penetrating to Earth's atmosphere at over 42,000 K. Therefore, Orion shield is designed to withstand temperatures up to 5,000 HO. At the appropriate altitude, Orion will deploy a series of large parachutes to decelerate for a safe splashdown landing in the ocean. NASA's plans and calculations, together with scientists, are extremely clear and detailed. But everything is still just an estimate because anything could happen. So will this mission succeed? Only the future can tell, because the ARTEMIS 2 mission will return humans to lunar orbit, while ARTEMIS 3, slated to launch in 2025, will finally bring human footsteps back to Earth's satellite. And that concludes the full story of how humans conquered them, were defeated by it, and plan to return to it in the future. What do you think? Was this journey interesting? Are you excited for the ARTEMIS 3 mission? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe to us, and tap the notification bell so you do not miss any future videos. Thank you all for listening, and see you next time.